Hey guys, today's episode is how to cook to impress your Nona. Now, I don't have a Nona per se, but I did grow up with a lot of Italian friends and I've been to Italy twice. Today we're going to be doing my rendition of a melanzane alla parmigiana, which is a eggplant parmesan. This is how you're going to impress your Nona. With all my Italian friends, their Nona is always the best, most prized cook in the family. So cooking this dish, we really want to blow it out of the water, go above and beyond. We're using a pretty standard basic tomato sauce. Every Nona deserves a night off, but you can't afford to screw it up. This is a guaranteed way to impress your Nona. First things first, we're gonna need an eggplant. Here we go, perfect. Here's my eggplant. So I'm gonna slice it about maybe 1/3 of an inch thick. Too small, it might fall apart and disappear, and if it's too thick, it'll take too long to cook through. So this is about the size that you're looking for, okay? Just like that. Okay, so now that our eggplant is sliced, I'm going to lay it down on a cloth here, just like this. This is the important step that we're doing. We're salting the eggplant. This is to remove some of the moisture, but more importantly, some of that bitter moisture. I'm gonna go ahead, flip these guys over, because I want to get coverage of the salt on both sides, and season this with salt, just like this. The next step that we have to do is cover this. Lay a tray on top. We're gonna weigh it down with our tomato sauce, so we're gonna wait 45 minutes to 1 hour. So we're gonna take a look at our eggplant here, and as you can see, super wet. The paper towel that was on top of it, that's extracted a lot of that bitter moisture. The eggplant itself also becomes a lot more looser because of the moisture that came out of it. And now we're ready to bread it, and then we're gonna fry this. So the basic breading station is, of course, flour, egg wash, breadcrumbs or panko. Today we're using seasoned breadcrumbs, just a little bit of oregano and some salt. I'm gonna add some salt into the eggs as well, just to season it up, and a little bit in the flour, why not? Our breading station is set up. It's time to now bread. I have an extra tray here with some parchment paper, and I'm going to lay in our eggplant into the flour. One end is gonna be dry, one end is gonna be wet. You have two hands, so use both of them, especially if you're working in a kitchen, that's a good tip. And into the breadcrumbs finally. Make sure you coat the entire eggplant. This is something that you can do the night before. The lasagna type stuff, they freeze very well. And we're ready to start frying. So I'm gonna take this over to our preheated pans here. Eggplant's ready to go. I'm gonna add oil into the pan. I'm using safflower oil today because it has a high smoking point and not much of a flavor transfer. And we're gonna lay in our eggplant. Here it's sizzling away. If you don't have this sound, if you don't hear this frying when you put anything into a pan like this, then you're gonna wanna remove it. I can use 2 pans to make this go a little bit faster. Use 2 hands as well. Don't crowd the pan, don't get lazy at home. Remember, you're making this for your Nona. You want to impress her, so every piece has to be perfect. After 2 or 3 minutes of cooking and you get a nice golden brown color on one side, flip it, cook it for another 2 or 3 more minutes until golden brown. So eggplant is golden brown on both sides. I'm just gonna lay this onto some paper towel and I'll just leave this here for now. The first thing that we need to do is add tomato sauce to the bottom layer. Not too much, but enough to get full coverage on the bottom. Now it's that fun time, it's the assembly time, time to layer. As you can see, we have pretty much full coverage on the bottom of the dish. This is gonna be insane. I can already smell it. The eggplant's nice and crispy. Nona, you have no idea what's about to hit you. Next step is the shredded mozzarella. I'm gonna take some and lay that down nicely here. Again, you want this to be impressive. You do not want to chintz out on the cheese. One of the key ingredients in this lasagna is the ricotta that we're adding in now. This will give you a nice fluffy layer in your eggplant parmesan, sure to impress. I'm gonna come over the top with a little bit more sauce now, just so it's nice and moist. And again, this is a beautiful, delicious sauce. I'm gonna take some basil leaves and just rip a bunch off. I'm gonna use whole leaves for this application. Put one nice layer. And the reason why I'm keeping them whole is because it's more rustic this way. It's gonna hold some more of its integrity. We're gonna come over the top with one more layer of our eggplant. And then what we're gonna do is come over the top with a little bit more of our sauce. This looks Italian too. Looks like the flag right now, actually. Now it's time to put some of our more funky ingredients in. This is what's gonna take your eggplant parmesan to the next level. We're gonna slice this up into nice wedges. This is kind of an aggressive piece, so I'm gonna break this up a little bit, just like that, so we get chunks. So we want it in every bite, but I don't want an entire bite. The next few ingredients are a little bit outside of your Nona's playbook, but they're gonna add a lot of flavor. We're going to put down some beautiful artichoke that we have here. I'm just gonna break it up in my hand. This has been already cooked. You can pick this up at any antipasto deli, any olive counter. They should have this artichoke ready to go. So I'm gonna lay that down here. Not too much because it is a strong flavor. And we're gonna add some sun-dried tomato here. We're just gonna put them in a big pile. And julienne across. And here's our sun-dried tomato. This is gonna add big flavor into your eggplant parm. I also have some Kalamata olives chopped up here. I'm gonna add these in. So already the colors in here are amazing. The smell is vibrant, it smells delicious. Now we are ready for our top layer. So I'm gonna go ahead and add in the remaining bits of our eggplant. So we have our top layer of eggplant going down now. I'm gonna add a bit more of our sauce. This will be the final layer of our sauce. I have my oven preheated at 395 Fahrenheit. You can give this a little shake, let everything fall into the cracks, and then we're gonna put our final layer of mozzarella, and I'm gonna be nice and generous with this layer. So I'm gonna pop this in again, 395, and we'll see this in 35-40 minutes. Here we go. And let's take a look. Oh, wow. Cheese is melted everywhere. I'm just gonna pull this cheese off the foil. And don't worry about how it looks on top right now, because we need to top this with more Parmesan. But you can see it's bubbling, it's cooked right through, the cheese is melted. The smell is incredible, the olive tapenade, the sun-dried tomatoes, the basil, the cheese is all there. So this is the exciting time. I've preheated my oven to broiler on the low setting. And I'm gonna grate over some Parmesan, and I wanna cover the entire top. So I'm gonna put this back into the oven on the broiler on a setting of low. So guys, this is how we're gonna impress Nona, by babysitting this. On broiler, if it goes a couple seconds over, you will burn it. You gotta look at this, you gotta see this. Okay, that's it, we're ready to go. Give her another chair. Oh my, my, my. Guys, this looks perfect. It's perfectly golden brown. It smells incredible. But if I go to serve it right now, it's going to collapse a bit. I want it to set, so I'm going to let it set for 30 minutes, and I'll see you then. I know what I'm doing. All right, guys, 25-30 minutes has elapsed. I think it's time to plate this bad boy up. Here we go. Eggplant parms on the table. It smells unbelievable with the cheese and the olives, the sun-dried tomatoes. This is going to be unbelievable. Time to garnish this and finish it and serve it to our Nona. A little bit more Parmigiano Reggiano grated on top. Not too much because we've already put a lot in the dish. And then I'm gonna top it off with some micro basil, just the smaller leaves of basil. And this is how you're gonna impress your Nona every single time. Add a glass of wine. This looks unreal. I can't wait. I can't wait for my Nona. I have to try a bite of this. Letting it rest, you see how it comes apart nice and easy now, ready for the bite. My God, absolutely mind-blowing, mind-blowing, mind-blowing. I'm eating the rest.